All right. Hi and good evening to all of you. I see many people are live in the chat, which is good. All right. Don't worry if you have not even created a virtual environment till this point. We will take everything from scratch. Okay. I'll help you with each and everything. So, which is the reason I just deleted my virtual environment. Let us start from the foundation. So, the very first thing that we would want to do here is to make sure that Olama is all set, okay? So just go to Olama, download Windows, and download this executable. I installed LangChain community and Olama. Sir, I installed Olama, right? And you have installed Gamma. Well, that was the only thing expected to do from the yesterday session. Even if you have not, this is a good time to just go to download Olama and download this setup, right? So once you're done with this, the next thing would be maybe just to fire up a terminal and just check if Olama is available to you, right? So if Olama is available, fair enough. Even if not, I'll help you even to create a chatbot or RAG with OpenAI services or Gemini or whatever you want, right? All right. Uh, Hello, Pratham. Hi, Abhishek. Hi, Edelrock, Vegeto. And I see many people coming in chat. Good. And you all have done the basics, right? Fair enough. Now, the first thing that we should do is we should make the virtual environment. And the idea is I'll try to teach a lot of code today, which means that we will not waste any further time. And this might seem a little fast paced, maybe not. It depends upon where your current skill set is. But I'll try to cover as much as possible from LangChain perspective and Olama and the chat model perspective, right? So certification will be given by the end of the session. Do not worry about it. Now, let us start off with the bare basics. Okay. So if we talk about Olama, okay. So once it is done, we can simply start off with setting up our virtual environment. Okay. So let us see what are the things that we will need. So firstly, what we can do is we can just simply start off with pip install. First, let me activate my environment. Dot venv scripts activate. This is for Windows. For Ubuntu, use .venv bin/activate. Okay, so that will be one for you. Can you zoom a little bit? Yes. Yeah, of course. I think Vegeto, it is a good strategy to split your screens at your end so that on one tab you can see what I'm doing, on another tab you can replicate it. And I'll try to compile everything if we are able to do it. Maybe publish it in a Git repo so that all of you can get this code, right? Cool. Okay, now we have a virtual environment running. Let me see. This is a clean environment, right? It has nothing into it. So we will start off, right? First of all, what we will do is we will install pip install LangChain, okay? So LangChain is given to you. Meanwhile, I'll try to quickly repeat that there is one zip file that I've shared with all of you, okay? It is also present in all-in-one document. You will get the link. Parallelly, just download it. It is a very simple short zip. Extract that zip wherever you are planning to code. In the same folder, yes, the drive link is on the chat. Just go to this drive link, open this drive link, and in the same folder, just paste this, okay? This is, do not worry, this is just to help people reach till the RAG level. Even if you face any problem in creating embeddings, we can just simply use this folder, the vector database, which I've created for you. Okay, the drive link is available. You can just download this drive link. It is available in the documents also. The link is shared in the chat. Now, meanwhile, I'm installing the LangChain module. Okay, the LangChain module is installed. The next thing that I need to do is I need to install the LangChain Olama. Okay, so pip install LangChain Olama is what we will do. Okay, I'll just quickly wrap it up for you. Pip freeze. You just need to install this LangChain LangChain and LangChain LangChain dash Olama. All the other things are automatically installed. Okay, you just need to install these two things for now. And for the people who will be using OpenAI, you can install .env to load the environment. Pip install Python .env. This is the library. So in local folder, I found Olama version not found in virtual environment. What was that? Okay, maybe if you didn't find Olama version, let me just install this. Pip install. So while this is installing, if you found Olama version as not found, probably the Olama setup didn't go correctly. If it had Olama list would have given you the list of the models that you have locally, right? So if this is the problem, maybe just do the setup once again for Olama. Try restarting your terminal, try restarting your PC. If nothing works, because maybe the environment variables are not loaded correctly, or redo the setup once again, okay? So if I go to my downloads, if I run this Olama setup, I'll just redo it, okay, just to explain you. Meanwhile, yes, it is loading up the Olama setup. So install LangChain, LangChain dash Olama, LangChain dash community. These are few things that will be handy and you can install them, right? So LangChain community pip. I'll give you the library name for it, dash community, right? So you can simply install that. I'll go pip install LangChain community. So once this is done, the basic of the library are done, okay? And we can simply start off. So Olama setup is starting. I can click on install. Setup is preparing to install Olama. The following application are using files. I already have Olama installed. I do not want to automatically stop it. You will not get this window. You just simply click on next and the setup is done. Okay. I want to exit this setup. All right. So let me just also quickly show you what I have done meanwhile. Let this LangChain community install meanwhile. Okay. So let me just start off with the first file, which is chapter 1. Let us call it LangChain basics. Okay. Let me rename it to a Jupyter notebook file .ipynb. It becomes more plug and playable. Sir, from installing, please tell us again. Definitely, Aditya. I'll just quickly cover it up. So once you have installed the Olama setup from the web page itself, just go to Olama downloads, download the executable, run it. The first thing I have done is I have created a virtual environment. The command is python-m space venv.venv. This is step number 1. Okay. Let me just copy everything and try to publish it in the chat so you people can use it. Just a minute. First Python, second let me just copy the commands from here. .venv scripts activate. Third is pip install LangChain. Fourth is pip install LangChain Olama. Fifth is pip install LangChain community. What else have I installed? LangChain Olama. Pip install python.env. Pip install python.env. And that's it. So I'll just publish this chat. The admin will quickly paste it for you all in the chats. Okay. So Aditya Bharat, I think you will have all the steps that I have done till this point. You can just copy it from the chat also, right? So the admin can just paste this and you will all have it in the chat streaming in now. Okay. So these are steps I have done till this point. Okay. Now, once let me also just put my phone on mute. Okay. Let me see if the live chat is on. Okay. Chats. Yes. Okay, the chat is live. Cool. Let us start off with the first thing. I'll create a simple code block. Okay. Now, from LangChain underscore Olama, this is the library I will be using. I'll import chat with Olama. Okay. So this is a thing which is needed to chat. By default, if you have installed Olama, it will be running on port number 11434. This is the default port at which Olama runs. So let us create a base URL, which is equals to HTTP localhost 11434 is where Olama by default runs. Okay. So if you have any vibe coding installed, such as auto codes like GitHub Copilot or any other, you can say Cursor or any other platform you're using, they will give you auto recommendations to complete this chat, which is happening here. But if not, you can, since you are splitting screens, you can just simply type out this thing and understand what I'm trying to say. We have imported a library which will help us create a chat module. Base URL is where the Olama runs. Okay, this is where our Olama is running. Okay, let us now import a model. We will need a model. So model, what we are going to use will totally depend upon what models you have locally installed. So if I do Olama list, I have these many models with me. Maybe you will have just one or two which you have installed. Okay, we could start off with a very small model like Quen 0.6. Paste the installation steps in the chatbot in the chat. Yes, I am doing that. Okay. Okay. Chat. I'll ask the moderator, the admin, to paste those steps. Okay. Sir, we have to create a Jupyter notebook. Preferably for this session, create a Jupyter notebook in your VS Code, or you can also use the normal Python script .py. Okay, that will be also useful. You can use that. But Jupyter notebook is more easy and convenient to explain things and to run block by block. Okay. Meanwhile, let me try to paste this in chat somewhere. Okay, so I'll just quickly go ahead and open up my chat module somewhere. Let me see if I can copy it for you. Okay, let me try to paste it through WhatsApp. Now, if I go on WhatsApp, copy all my commands, right click, copy, right click, paste. From my mobile, I'll be able to paste in the chats all the commands. Let me just quickly do that. Copy and paste. There you go. All the commands that I've run till this point, you have it with you now. All right. Now, once you have this, maybe use any model that you have locally. Quen 3 0.6 billion, or maybe Gamma 1 billion model will also work. Okay, let me just copy the name from here as it is. I'll copy it and I'll paste over here. So Gamma 3 1 billion model, this is what I am using at this point. Okay, once we have it, now we can create our LLM. Remember, at this point, we are just defining our LLM. We are not doing anything about RAG. We are creating our LLM. Okay. So once you have it, we will say LLM is equals to chat Olama. The model we imported, right? the same model we will use, it has certain parameters. The first parameter is base URL. From where is your Ulama running? If you're running it on some server, then it will be the URL of the server. But since it is localhost, we will paste the base URL here. What is the model name? Model name equals to model, which is a variable which holds the value of our, both are variables which we have created, okay? Maybe in a real world scenario, you will be passing these values from an .env, right? Okay. Abhishek, I have also pasted the steps on my own, and you can, yeah, admin will also be able to paste it. You can use the chat that I've given you, okay? Right. So once you have the model equals to model, the next is temperature. This is something which tells the model how creative the model can be. Usually it is between 0 to 1 and 0 to 2, depending upon which LLM you're using. What happens is that yesterday I explained you how large language model work. They are working on the principle of probability, right? Probabilistic nature. So the more we shift the temperature towards 0, it means it has to be more deterministic in nature, that it has to pick the top most probable token, top most probable next word in the sentence it has to use. Whereas if we use higher temperature, it can include noise, it can include variations, or let us say creativity in other way, that it can also not necessarily use the most probable token as the next word. It can use few of the, like maybe the fifth best, seventh best, third best, okay, to just enhance the creativity in the responses, and to make sure the responses are more dynamic, more versatile, different than each time you run it. Like if I say, hi, how are you? The response would be very different if I'm using a high temperature model. Every time I run the same command, every time I say hi, the model might try to respond back, but with variations to how it can greet back. The more I switch temperature towards 0, the model will be more repetitive in nature, just to make sure that model is being more conservative. Okay, so this is what temperature does. To make the model creative and fun, you can use a higher temperature like 0.7, 0.8, or 1, or maybe if the model supports 2, you can go till 2, which is the maximum. Okay. Now, next thing is number of predictions. Now, how many tokens to predict? Okay. Should we type this in code in VS Code? Yes, you can try to type this code in VS Code parallelly if you want with me. This should work for you. So tokens, I explained to you yesterday. Tokens are like how many words can the model predict. Let us try to see what tokens can be, right? Token calculator online. So suppose if I write, hi, hello, how are you doing? Question mark. You see, it comprises of 7 tokens. There are 6 words, and like this explains that the length of the token. Okay, this is just to help you visualize how many tokens I am using. Okay, let me use Gemini here quickly. Create a essay on summer vacation in 1,000 words. Okay, so what 1,000 words would look like? This is the ideal scenario that you can use. So 1,000 words are pretty much enough. You can see how lengthy this essay can be, right? So in our school days, we have written a lot of essays. You know what essay up to 100 word, 200 word, 500 word could feel like. These are like 1,000 words. So if I paste over here, approximately it is 889 words, and the number of tokens are 1,113. So if I am stopping the model at say 200 tokens, then all this text will be cut. Okay, till this point. If I'm using a value that do not predict more than 100 tokens, the model will stop right over here in just the first paragraph. That's the amount. So how much tokens do you want to restrict the model at is important when you are dealing with situations in production. You do not want the model to produce a lot of words. The reason for that is cost. The more your model is generating words, the more it is costing you. Maybe if you're running the model locally, the more it is costing you on the resources like your GPU server is being used. If you're using APIs like Gemini or OpenAI, then they charge you per token level. The more tokens you consume, the more is your charge. So we have to restrict the model. These are some ways in which we can restrict the model, maybe not more than 100 tokens, I will say. This is the limitation. So if there is any question which requires 500 tokens to answer, the model will not do it in production, just to save cost. Okay, right. Let us see if there are any chats coming in. Sir, I am using Gemini on Collab. How should I do this? Okay, we will explain you how to use third-party API also. For now, you can just follow this with Olama. Okay. Yes. It means one token is equals to one word, right? No, that's not correct. For beginners, you can think something like that, but you can read about internet how tokens are computed. Okay, so how tokens are computed. Okay, so what are tokens and how to count them? This is what OpenAI will help you with. One token is roughly equal to 4 characters in English alphabet. Okay, so one token is like 3/4 of a word, and 100 tokens would be like roughly 75 of the tokens. And this is what the idea could be all about. Uh, so here you can see my favorite color is red. So full stop in itself is one token. My in itself is one token. A space with a favorite completely is one token. So the purple, green, orange, red, blue, and purple. These are the differences in tokens and their token IDs. Okay. So how a model will compute token? It is a little more than what a single word would be, right? So you can read more about how tokens are computed if you are interested in it. Okay. NumPredict command is used to restrict the model to go beyond this threshold. It is like a threshold that do not produce more than 100 tokens while giving answer to any question. That's what it does, Vegito. Okay. Now, next thing is this is well, this NumPredict is not exactly related to tokens. It is related to like words. Okay. Another way to restrict is using max tokens. So max tokens could be like 100, I would say. And max words would be like around 200, I would say. Okay. So number of predictions the model should do and the max tokens. These are a few of the ways that you can restrict the model. Now, interesting thing is that all these parameters are optional. You can simply skip it. Okay. It will use the default values. But I'm just trying to explain you there are certain attributes, there are certain parameters which can be tweaked. Okay, there are much more than this, like number of probabilities. Okay, next token probability and things like that to token penalty and things like this. Okay, if you're interested more into LLMs, you can understand more about these parameters online. You can find help, and I would say that I just wanted to give you some basic idea how they work. So let me just try to run this. If okay, now the most important thing is if you are using the Jupyter notebook, on the right side you will see we do not have selected which kernel or which Python are we firing it from. So when I click it, it will ask me to select any kernel. Since I have a virtual environment, I will go with the virtual environment. Okay. Now running cells requires the iPanel package. I'll just quickly install it on my VS Code. You will be, I think, Ratnesh, you will be receiving the certification from the all-in-one document, the page where generate certification will come up. From there, you can download the certification. Now, let us just quickly install the kernel package, which I'm installing. Okay. Meanwhile, let me see if I've missed any out. I think I've answered majority of them. Sir, we are still stuck at installation process itself. Kindly inform admin to paste the instruction in the chat box. Aditya, I have pasted them myself. I'll just repaste it for you. There you go. the first 6 steps of what I have done, I've pasted it here. We are coding in Python here, right? Yes, we are coding in Python. Yes, so the instructions are pasted, right? You can just follow it from here. So, okay. Meanwhile, I was able to run it. You see a green tick, which means there was success in running this code. Now, how do we use this? What is done till this point? We loaded a module, Chatolama, from this LangChain module. We mentioned it that we will be using Gamma 3 as our local model. And we were able to create a LLM module like this. Okay. Now, once the LLM module is done, we can create response is equals to llm.invoke. So .invoke is the method which is used to generate an answer, a response from the LLM. I'll be storing it in response and let me print it. What is the capital of France if I ask? It will print me the response. Max tokens are 100, so it can produce whatever length of answer it wants. So there you go. Content, the capital of France is Paris. Okay, it's a common misconception that Lyon, because tokens are high, it will keep on answering more and more. And since I was quite generic in my question, I didn't ask it to just respond in 1 word or 2 word. The model can respond anything it wants. Okay, so you can, if you want just the answer, you can do response.content and you will receive the answer like this. The capital of France is Paris. It's a good one to remember with a smiley. Now you will see that response has a lot of metadata also. Response dot use response dot metadata. Okay, so we can just check it. You need not run every command with me. You can just take out what is necessary. I'm just trying to show you and teach you a little bit more, that you'll see which model was used to create this answer. It was Gamma 3. When was it created? It uses the timestamp. Is it created? Yes, true. Done reason, stoppage is the reason. Total duration, load duration, and how much eval count were used, and what is the duration of it. And such data is available. For developers, it could be useful to understand a few things, okay? Like, why did the model stop responding? Was there any error? So you can look into this metadata. Not necessary to know it. Okay, so this is a little bit of how you can start chatting with Ollama using Python and LangChain. Okay, so I hope you got a little bit of idea. Now there's a common concept known as prompt. Okay, as I mentioned yesterday, a prompt is nothing but how you explain the model. You set up a premise that what a model is supposed to do here. There could be system level prompt and human message. Human message is more like the question that you are going to ask. So LangChain calls it like system message and human message. So we can set up this prompt in the LangChain itself, right? So let us try to do that. I'll just quickly create another chapter for you. 02 LangChain prompts.ipynb. Anyone has any issues till this point, feel free to reach out, okay? I'll help you with whatever problems you're facing. Again, I'll just quickly use the basics from the last code, which is LangChain Ollama base URL model 3.18 billion. We can use it, no problem. I have 3.18 billion, right? You could do anything, and LLM is equals to what? The base URL and model. So if you remember, in the last session, the previous notebook, I included temperature, max token limitation. I'll skip it, okay, this time, since it is always optional to do it. I'll create a LLM quickly, run this using my virtual environment. Let me save my previous code, close it, and this is done. Next thing is a question, okay? Question could be, what is the capital of France? No, let's use something else. Tell me 3 interesting facts about the moon, okay, maybe. And the response is llm.invoke, and we could simply print question, print response dot content, okay? So this is what we have covered in the first session, okay? I'll not be able to properly decorate these notebooks, maybe use a comment, a header, or a subheader, because we are short on time. I have just 1.5 hours more to cover things. So utilize the theory from this YouTube live, and just for revision, you have these notebooks with you. I'm having issue in virtual environment setup. Okay, are you able to run Python dash make venv.venv? First confirm that. What is .ipynv? Someone is asking. So there are certain extensions like .pdf stands for how you see the PDF files. .txt stands for how do you open a text file. .ppt for presentation files. .doc for maybe documents, Microsoft document, Word, or Google Docs, right? Similarly, there are certain extensions like .py. .py stands for Python scripts, and .ipynb stands for Jupyter Notebook extensions or notebook extensions. Okay, any notebook is a format in which you can add code, markdown codes, certain cells in which you can run. So whatever you see on screen, this is a notebook. It is not a Python script, it is a Python notebook. So their extension is known as ipynb, okay, which is like a Python notebook, pynb. Okay. Anything else? No. Fine. You can see a question is, tell me three interesting facts about the moon. A response, a great request. Here are the 3 points. I hope you found them interesting. Now, what we can do is we can quickly onboard certain system message and human message into the LangChain. How do we do that? Okay, so how to give the localhost link, where you can see in the chat right over here, base URL and model, and in the LLM I'm posting it right over here, right? Quickly just rewind the video if you want and see how I'm doing it. LangChain Olama right over here. Okay, Python dash mven. I ran this command and the command prompt just shifted to next line. Is my environment set up? Well, you should be able to see a folder by the name of .venv placed in your root directory. So suppose if you have run this command on a terminal, say you did python dash make venv.venv, run it, and you just simply enter the next terminal. Maybe you can do ls. ls or dir on the terminal will help you understand if .env is created. If not, you can also use GUI. आप अपने file explorer में जाके from the folders you can check. On VS Code also there is a explorer over here. You should be able to see this folder .venv, and you've created it. If you're on Windows, you have to type .venv slash scripts slash activate. Okay, running this command will give you a green .venv on the left side of your terminal now, and all these commands have been pasted in the chats. How long can I be able to download all the libraries for this session? It will take some time. Some libraries could be heavy. So I will recommend you keep following with this, because this session is recorded and will be available with you forever, right? So you can always recap this session whenever you want. Our top priority is to cover up the RAG code, okay? Yes, vegeto folder is created, activate the environment now. Good, let's move ahead. Now, what we can do is from LangChain core, from LangChain core.messages import. For now, we will import the system message and human message. Okay. Again, what we will do is we will create our LLM, which is already there. So before we do that, we will create question is equals to. We will rather than asking it like this, we will now wrap it as human message. Okay. Tell me 3 interesting facts about the moon. Okay. Now in system prompt, what we will do is we will add instructions to the LLM, how it is supposed to behave. Imagine it like this. Imagine that Shah Rukh Khan is our large language model. Shah Rukh Khan is an actor in real life, right? So is our LLM. And Shah Rukh Khan is versatile. It can take up any role. You just have to provide some instructions to this actor that that hey Shah Rukh, we are doing certain action scene today. So this is a script. Can you act accordingly? Maybe tomorrow, hey Shah Rukh, we are doing a comedy movie and the genre is comedy. So this is a script. Can you act accordingly? So see how versatile the actor could be. Similarly, the system message helps our LLM understand the role. Okay. Maybe what I will tell is you are a 5th grade science teacher. answer the question in a way that the fifth grader can understand. This is a natural language. I'm just putting this instruction to the LLM. So LLM will now answer questions to that level only. Okay. So again, I'm explaining you certain features of LangChain. I'm walking you through how LangChain works and how you can become better at LangChain by following this tutorial. You now understand what is human message. Human message is a question. If you go back to our previous code, we did it without human system message, just using the naked LLM. We just created a LLM with just the model name, and we simply invoked it with the question. Now what we are doing is we are making a more advanced code, advanced in the previous one, where we are adding human message and system message. Now I'll wrap everything in messages variable as LangChain would expect me to. Messages is equals to system and question. These are the variables which I have created, which have human message and system message right over here, right? Yes, Vegito, you are right. We have created a prompt over here. These are like prompts, but these prompts are system level prompts. Okay, even a question is a prompt. So let me just quickly walk you through AI Studio Google. Okay, so if we go to any playground, could be OpenAI playground or Studio playground of Google, you will see that you can ask question over here, right? Explain three facts about moon. Okay, so if I run this, you see the model will be able to generate the answer for me. This is what we did with code. Okay, and this is what we are doing with the UI of Gemini. We can now, you will see that there is a symbol like system instructions where my mouse is currently pointing it at. This is where you add your system level prompt. Okay, so there you go. You can also see what Google is trying to point you. Optional tone and style instruction for the model you can add over here. So these are known as system prompts. Okay, and we are adding it right over here through this variable. Now let us ask the same question again. Since message is done, we will simply say response is equals to llm.invoke messages. See what we did, llm.invoke question in our previous attempt. Now we are passing a list of variables, which is system and question, and then we're getting response, and then print question.content. Okay, and or we can response.content. Let us simply try to run it. So we are running using the 8 billion model of Llama. How should I do that on Collab since using Gamma 327 billion? Well, firstly, in your Collab, you have to locally install this model somewhere, okay? If you are using free version of Collab, your memory is temporary. One way to do it is you can attach your drive, do Olama setup and install the model there, okay? Or else if you're using Collab, I will recommend download a simpler model. Quen 0.6 download कर लो, 500-600 MB का model है, quickly setup भी हो जाएगा. On Collab, do not use a heavy model as 27 billion model. Okay, this is a big model. It will take some time to download. I'm using the API key. The model is generating responses, but how should I do that with LangChain? Well, I'm showing you here how can do with LangChain, right? Okay, you're using the API key. Okay. I got it what you're trying to say. Yes, so you can do the same over here. I'll show you quickly. Just let me cover the Olama first. I mentioned that I'll show you both ways how you can use third-party APIs and how you can use Olama. Current code is about Olama. Okay, keep doing it with the Gemini for now. And Gamma 327 billion model, I think this didn't work with API. Okay, maybe it does. If you just go over here, you are using okay for the free. Okay, this Gemini 2.4 Gamma, you're using this model Gamma 27 billion. Yeah, it's available on the API. You can download the Gamma model through Olama. You're not using Olama for now. You're using Gemini API, but that is fine. Okay, you can continue like that. So there you go. now the answer is again generated, which means that now we have updated the code to follow the prompts. Okay, now let me just quickly improvise this. I'll just copy everything, copy, paste. Now rather than fifth grade science teacher, I will say you are a PhD scholar in astrophysics, and your audience are also PhD experts. Just to give you an example, I'm trying to pitch it at a little more advanced level. You will see what are the responses. Moon is moving away from us. The moon has no atmosphere. The moon is not round exactly. This is what the teacher explained to the fifth grade students. Remember, our question is same. Our question is exactly same. Tell me three interesting facts about the moon. Tell me three interesting facts about the moon. Our question is same. Just system level prompt has changed, and you will realize words like uh, ellipsoid, okay, and the way it will be explaining us will also be little more complex, okay, more complex. Like you'll able to see it. The moon is moving away from us, right? If you see, the explanation will be little different when you find it for the PhD level. Okay, now that's about how you can adjust or improve your way the model will behave. Okay, yes, so this is about it. So what we can do is from LangChain core, we can import prompts and set up everything to a prompt level to make our code more granular. But for now, I'll skip that. Okay, this is a bare basics of how LLM prompts work. Let me just quickly try to take up some point and try to explain you that if possible. Okay, so remember, LangChain follow certain keywords. System message prompt क्या है? This is a template used for generating system messages. Okay. Human message prompt क्या है? This is used for human messages. Okay. Then prompt template is where you can compile everything like this. Okay. So what I will do is from langchain.prompt, langchain code.prompt, import. These are type of prompts that you can import. Okay. Prompt template, chat prompt template. I'll try to explain you how the system and question prompt template can work. Okay, for an example, this could be system prompt template, human prompt template. Let me try to explain you this. Even one example is more than enough. LangChain core से हम prompts import कर सकते हैं, and we can make our prompts more dynamic. So for example, if I'm using a production service where I have to frequently change from fifth grade science teacher to 10th standard science teacher to master's teacher to PhD teacher, I can create a school as a variable. Now, whenever I'll be running a question, I can pass in the level. I can talk which topic are we talking about and how many points do we want to talk about it. Okay, so you can simply, I'll help you visualize what we are doing over here. So you can visualize system kya hai? System is a prompt template, and what is the input variable? School. Okay, and what is the template? You are a school teacher like this. Okay, similarly for question. So now how do we use the system and the prompt template? Okay, so for example, if you have to create a question, we just need to pass the topic, which is sun. So if for question, if we are passing topic as sun and points as 5, what is happening? Tell me about the sun in 5 points. Now I have made my prompt more dynamic in nature. So in reality, if you are creating solutions using LLM, this is what the actual code could look like. Actual code will use prompt templates, not simply the way we write prompts, because it has to be more dynamic. So I have formatted my question over here. Maybe I can format school to be elementary. Okay, and let me try to run it. Like copy, paste. I'll show you question.format. You tell me about the sun in 5 points. If I format it to elementary, school will be replaced by elementary. Okay. Now what I will do is I'll repeat the same code, which is I'll create messages is equals to I do not need to format it because I already have formatted it. System, comma, question. Okay. Again, at this time. And now I will say template. I created a template which is chat prompt template, and I just need to pass messages to it. Okay, so chat prompt template. The variable name is right over here. Okay, I just deleted that. Control Z. Chat prompt template. Okay, so chat prompt template is what will contain my messages and my question now. Okay, which is again one way of creating it. Now I'll show you what the template looks like. Print template. So if you run this code, okay, template chat prompt template is not defined. Well, I need to rerun this cell once again. Okay, I'll run this cell and now I will run this cell again. You will see input variables are points, school, and topics. Remember, this is how we can make our prompts dynamic also, and all the data of our template is stored here. Right now, if we have to ask a question, we just simply need to ask a question with parameters, which is what a real world code would look like. So question kya hai? I need not type my prompt again and again now. I just need to invoke it with school kya hai, elementary, topic kya hai, sun, point kya hai, 5. I just need to pass variables now. Now for developers who are backend developers, now they will realize that this is more like your APIs, right? You pass certain parameters, you get response. So you just need to pass parameters. You don't need to pass the free language. We have made our prompt at that level. So we will say response equals to llm.invoke question, and we'll say print. We'll just simply print response and run it. Now you will realize it will, at elementary level, talk about sun in 5 points. So that's a little bit about how we design prompts in LangChain and what does a prompt template mean. So prompt template means that we have written our prompt and we have identified what are the variables in the prompt we need to change again and again. And we have made sure that while invoking the LLM, we are passing those by using template. Okay. And how do we create template? Template is created using chat prompt template. And to create a chat prompt template, we need to have a question and a system format at least, and we can wrap it in the messages, and that's how you create chat prompt template. And rather than using, also what we were using in the previous code, we were using llm.invoke. Okay, now we are wrapping everything in the template, which is chat prompt template, and we are using the template is in the question, and using llm.invoke with just the question. And question is what? Question is template.invoke. So first we are invoking the template, then we are invoking the LLM. Remember, now there are 2 steps to complete this question. First is to invoke your template. So a code will specially run to create the prompt with the variables. Second time the code will run to generate the response. Okay, so this is a little bit how prompt templates can feel like. Let me just save it. Okay, now this is LangChain basics and LangChain prompts. Okay, we are at 6:50 p.m. I'll just quickly show you a little bit about chains. How do we create chains in the LangChain? Okay, are there any questions that I'm missing meanwhile? Live people? No. All right. So let us create 03 LangChain chains .ipynv. Now, why we are learning this code? We are learning these codes to understand how LangChain works so that we can use it to create RAG pipelines. The problem is, how do we create and run all this code? That's not the problem, because soon we will be creating all of this in one single file and running it. You will realize it. See, for now, you can simply download the Ulama, download a small model to begin with, 500 MB of model, okay? And just some libraries that I've explained to you, 4 or 5 libraries. That's all you need, and you can follow this code live. Will we get a zip file at the end of the session for the same? Yes, Ratnesh. If you all stay till the end of the session, I'll try to wrap everything in a GitHub repository and publish it for public access, okay? So I'll give everything to you in the GitHub access. Right. So depends upon how much can I cover. You can always request the team to generate more and more sessions, because LetsUpgrade continuously is doing live sessions daily. There is a session on some or the other topic, so try to join our Discord and WhatsApp channels, our communities, and be updated what we are doing when we are doing, because we run a lot of live sessions almost daily. So LangChain, what are chains? Okay, to begin with. So chain as a word itself, it explains we are linking certain nodes, right? So we have certain idea by now that one step could be to invoke a template. The other step could be to invoke a LLM. Another step could be to now format the response, or maybe connect different LLMs. Suppose karo we are trying to build a product, something like which first understands from user how they are feeling. Are they satisfied with our services or they are not? Okay, so एक LLM will be used, one agent or one LLM will be used to understand the emotion. Is it positive or negative? Uh, इसका आउटपुट क्या होगा LLM का? Just positive or negative will be the response. Next thing would be, अगर ये positive है, then try to sell more products to this user or more services to this user. तो उसके लिए एक different LLM की prompt fire होगी. पहले की क्या हो सकती है, दैट है यू आर अ हेल्पफुल असिस्टेंट, यू ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ द यूजर इज फीलिंग अबाउट आवर सर्विसेज. ये प्रॉम्प्ट लगा के हम सिस्टम प्रॉम्प्ट लगा के विद द ह्यूमन मैसेज एक आंसर जनरेट कर सकते हैं, दैट इज हाउ आर द इमोशंस. नेक्स्ट थिंग वुड बी इफ इमोशन इक्वल्स टू पॉजिटिव, अगर ये हम कोड लिख रहे हैं इफ इमोशन इक्वल्स टू पॉजिटिव, फिर हम सेकंड एलएलएम इन्वोक कर सकते हैं, व्हिच इज लाइक ट्राई टू सेल relevant services to this user. He is happy with our services. These are a few of the services which can offer. तो LLM उससे chat करेगा उस level पे. If not happy, then try to help troubleshoot, try to help the user know okay, they can reach out to us, they can mail us, or we are understanding their grievance. We can try to remedy them. Can we connect you to our agents? तो ये एक अलग LLM का prompt हो सकता है, अलग LLM का fire हो सकता है. So if you realize in real world there could be multiple different combination of prompts which you will have to run. First would be invoke prompt, then run a LLM. Third would be handle response. Fourth would be invoke another LLM. Fifth would be invoke another response, another LLM. तो chain बन सकती है of events before you complete a process. Okay, so all this is actually handled by LangChain in the concept of chains. Does it actually work like a marketing agent? Yes, LLM से आप बहुत कुछ बना सकते हैं marketing agent, and there is limitless possibility आप कौन से type के projects बना सकते हैं LLM के साथ, right? So in fact marketing agents बहुत लोगों ने बनाए भी होंगे with LLMs. Okay, so I'm just giving an example how complicated the chains मतलब हो सकते हैं. So LLM chain is a good way. The LangChain chains is a good feature to compile everything with in a piece of code. So for example, what we will do is we will just simply create our basic model. LangChain Ollama से chat Ollama use किया. By this time you know why we are using it. LangChain prompts से हमने कुछ prompts load किए. We set up our base URL and let's try to switch it to a simpler model for quicker generation. Maybe Qwen 1.7 this time. For example, right over here. I'll paste it. QWEN Qwen 3:1.7b. Sometimes when you see underscore latest, you don't need to type it in the model name. Okay, this much is enough. So Qwen 3.1b is the model. So I have set up my base LLM. I'll just run this code once. Okay. Now I'll simply just create from our previous code एक system level message, एक human level message, one prompt template, and I will just try to run it once just to see everything works. So now we have system level message, human level message. This is where your customer's response will come into picture when you are designing code actually. This is where your system level prompts will come into picture, and you see this is where it is asking or giving us the answers now, right? Okay. And now let us try to create a template of chain out of it. You see what we are doing, हम दो invoke call कर रहे हैं ना अलग अलग level पे. This is how we are coding it. So how we can do it with the chain is I'll tell you. I'll just copy till this level. मैं यहाँ तक copy कर लेता हूँ. Right click, copy, right click, paste. Now rather than not typing question is equals to template dot invoke, response is equals to llm dot invoke, I will simply use chain. मैं कैसे बोलूंगा, chain एक वेरिएबल का नाम दे देता हूँ, I'll say template then llm. So pipe operator, this is known as pipe operator. From keyboard you can type it right above the enter. Shift के साथ आप वो straight vertical line print कर सकते हो. And this follows like a sequence of series, right? Like left से right चलता है. The first thing is invoke template. Second thing is invoke LLM. There could be many more things that we can put in the pipeline, है ना? So I'll just try to run this once. So I'll load it. Now we have created something known as chain in LangChain. Okay, we have created chain template. Now whenever you have to generate a response, I'll simply say chain.invoke. Okay, and the chain will simply follow the complete chain of different sequences it has to do in order to generate these answers. If I run it, you will be able to see chain.invoke does the task for us. We don't need to code again and again chain.invoke, like a system.invoke, then llm.invoke. So suppose if there are 10-15 things you have to do in parallel with invoke, you don't need to write a code of 15 lines with 15 variables and passing one to the other, one to the other, one to the other. Rather than that, you can use the concept of chains where you can link everything, just design everything once, like we designed our system and question, and we put it in the messages. And here we have a template, a prompt template. We designed LLM somewhere on the top, right over here. Okay. Now, rather than using again and again .invoke and doing table tennis here and there, we'll simply use a chain, and this will answer us. What are the use of template / chain? Well, this is how chains are designed. So chains में क्या होता है? I'll explain it with a comment over here. Chain is equals to first step क्या है, second step क्या है, third step क्या है, okay, third step क्या है, and so on until unless you are running into it. Like आपको हो सकता है second step पे जो LLM है, you have to pass it to a response handler. Maybe here you will type response handler. Fourth could be एक और LLM use करनी है उसके sequence में, you can add that. So this is how the chains work, and this is what it means. I hope you got it. How do we have Grok model and Olama's model? Whatever is open source is available. Olama is a community which handles whatever is available in the public domain. So if Grok has given some models to Olama, they will host it. Okay, right. Anything else we are missing? No, I think. Let me just quickly restart the chat once. All good till here, right? So this is about chains and how you can invoke chains, for an example. Okay? So just try to give you certain examples. Suppose if we were doing something with the output also, maybe if, we were using a structure output parser. I'll not use it. This is used to structure your output in a much formatable way. So what we could do is we can create chain2 is equals to template LLM and then structure output, and then we can create response and then print response. So I'm just giving an example how chain could be extended into whatever way you want. So is the idea of chain clear to all of you? Anyone has any difficulty understanding it? So should I download LangChain? So should I download LangChain? Yeah, you should download LangChain for this task. I think LangChain is the best when it comes to working with LLMs. Okay. So this is a little bit about how do we generate chains with it, right? So I think we are covered the bare basics which is needed to understand the LangChain. Okay. Apart from it, there are many more things that can be done, which is to maintain the chat history. You could use the chat history manager, or because in real life क्या होता है ना, whenever we are building a chatbot with question and answers, there are many questions which are follow up. Okay, like one question could be tell me where should I do a trip in summer in India. Maybe they will try to explain you that you can go to northeast, maybe in the mountains, maybe to the Kerala. Okay, the follow-up question could be which places in northeast should I go. So in order to respond to it, the model should understand पहला question क्या था. So we also have to maintain history and pass it next time to the model as this is the history, this is the current question, This is the context from the RAG, and now answer. So history is something that is something we will skip. It might take up another hour to just explain how to create memory management in LangChain. But I just wanted to explain you that that's also something that you can read into or build it, right? Let's move ahead with actual programming, right? Now is a good time to open up the link which I've shared with you in the drive. Okay, let me just try to see my drive. Drive.google.com. In drive, yes, I have. Right click, share with anyone that has access is editor. So you all can go ahead and download this, right? Let me also try to once paste it, but in the chat section you can just quickly see and find this link. Okay, it's also there in the all-in-one document. I'll paste it over here. Okay, my pasted link won't be clickable, but I think the one done by the LetsUpgrade manager or the admin is clickable. You just need to scroll up in the chat and find that it might be in the very start. Okay, just scroll down to the very start of the chats. You will find this drive link. Just download this zip somewhere. Okay, let me just try to copy this zip for you. It should be in my download somewhere. Okay, data downloads. Okay, let me check. Yes, I found the zip. Copy, go and paste it right in my current directory. Now, this is a vector database. I'll also help you understand how to create one. Okay, you can take any PDF of your choice if you want. Okay, I'll try to see if I have something in my downloads. Dietary supplement. I'll try to use this. I'll try to share this document with all of you. Okay, I'll upload it to my Google Drive. Just a second. New file upload. Dietary health supplements. I'll give this to the admin. They will give you the download link. Okay. Yes, the folder is up. The document is uploaded. File, share. Anyone with the link is editor, so that you can download it. Copy link. All right. So I'll ask the admin to share this link with you, or you could use any PDF of your choice. Okay, that's not the problem. The idea is that how do we do RAG, right? So for RAG, we need some documentation. It could be a .text file. It could be an image which you can do OCR on and then use it, or the link is there in the charts. You can just use any PDF of your choice. We will use a dietary supplement as a PDF. Now is the point. I'll also try to explain you RAG with OpenAI or Gemini. How do you do it? Okay, let's try to run this once. Okay, so you all know what RAG is supposed to be. Okay, I'll quickly try to install sentence transformers. It's a big library. You don't need to do it. Okay, pip install sentence transformers. You don't need to do it, students. It's a big module. I have a good internet speed. I should be able to quickly catch it because it will download, I think, up to a GB of file. I'm just trying to explain you how transformers work in encoded methods. What is embedding? I'm just trying to show you that. Okay. So what we will do is RAG with OpenAI. Let me name it as .ipynb. I'll add some code blocks. How embeddings look like. You can just try to see that. So from sentence transformers import sentence transformer. We will use any of the simple model. We can use all mnet base model. I'll just simply say that model is equals to sentence transformers. This is the model that I'll use. We can try to create a pair of sentences. Sentences is equals to maybe this is an example sentence. Okay. Now what we will do is we will create embeddings. So embedding is equals to model.encode sentences. Okay, or we could use whatever you want, and then sentence embedding print embeddings. Okay. Now sentence transformers is still downloading. It's almost done. It's downloading the necessary files it will need to run. I hope meanwhile you people have downloaded the PDF that I've shared. You people have downloaded the health supplements vector database which I've created for you. Now, I'll also help you understand how to create vector embeddings. This is what I will do here. And you can simply use the embeddings that I've created for you. Okay. Now, we will see if you run this code, you will get nothing but a folder of large arrays of numpy. Now this is what embedding is all about, and the number of rows and the columns you find will be the idea of how much dimensionality does a vector database hold. Okay. Now even before proceeding that, one more important interesting thing that you can do is go to the ollama.com models. From the models, find an embedding model. We can simply use a small model for now. Okay, we'll use nomic embed text. This is a good model, simple 274 MB model. We can also use the latest 1.5 model, which will be more improved. So embedding models are what? Just for recap, embedding models are the models which help you convert your string, your text, your free human language natural text into embeddings. Okay, we don't do it ourselves. We use a machine learning model known as embedding model, a NLP model, which converts your things into embeddings, because transformers, they work with embeddings, and your LLMs, they work with embeddings. So you just simply need to run this command, ollama pull nomic dash embedded text. अगर latest run करना चाह रहे हो, you can use ollama pull nomic dash embedded text version 1.5. And if you have downloaded it successfully, when you run ollama list, तो ollama list के अंदर you should find nomic embedded text available with you. ठीक है? So that's what you will need to have an embedding model available with you, because we will be using a embedding model. ठीक है ना? हम ये sentence transformer use नहीं करेंगे because this is again a heavy model to use. I'm just doing it to explain you how embeddings look like and how the embedding models are there even before the LLMs. ठीक है? तो जो वेक्टर डेटाबेस हम यूज करने वाले हैं, दैट इज FAISS. ठीक है, फेसबुक रिसर्च ने इसको बनाया है. सो मोस्ट ऑफ द LLMs की जो लिमिटेशन है कि वो करंट डेटा को यूज नहीं कर पाते. फैज इज लाइक अ इन मेमोरी वेक्टर डेटाबेस. इन मेमोरी वेक्टर डेटाबेस का मतलब क्या है कि दिस इज नॉट अ परमानेंट डेटाबेस. व्हाट इट मींस कि व्हेनेवर आई create a database, whenever I use data.load, ये local system में से from the files and folders that I stored this database, it will load the data into my RAM. So remember, phase is not again suitable for production applications, because as your data grow, it will consume more and more RAM, which is where you will need a full-fledged vector database like Postgres or Pinecone, Waviate, VectorDB. I've explained you many of them, right? ChromaDB. You can use a full-fledged production database. But while learning or while doing some research or while doing some POC or MVP, कुछ test कर रहे हो, just trying to implement a project, which is where Phase is useful, because you need a quick database to load up. So we will be using that. ठीक है ना? So let me just try to run this for you once. Python environment के अंदर, let me print embeddings, and this is an example sentence. The model is running and converting it for embeddings. Okay. Meanwhile, remember, I have explained you what you have to do. Your task is to Olama pull Nomic embedded model. Okay, it's a 274 MB model. I was just trying to give you some time that you can download it. I hope you have by this time. And you can see how embeddings look like meanwhile. Okay, meanwhile, I'll put one more pip command, pip install. I'll say, let me just make sure by PDF. Yes, pip install PyPDF2 is another one library that we should install because we'll be working with PDFs. So PyPDF2, I'll install it. Now make sure you install it side by side with me. So you can see this is how the embeddings look like, right? And such vast amount of data is processed by LLMs, okay? And just a statement of this is an example sentence. This is what it looks like to computer. Computer के लिए उसका मतलब क्या है? इतने सारे vectors or the values in numpy arrays, है ना? This is a huge vector. So remember, whatever free text we write, the model converts it into something like this, a numpy array, okay? And you can use a different embedding model. The more professional model you use, the more richer model you use, the better embeddings will be generated. OpenAI has a very good embedding model. You can use that. अगर free में करना चाह रहे हो तो Nomic embed text is also a very good embedding model to use. Sir, can I use this model text embedding 004 from the Gemini API? Yes, you can use that. You are free to use it. One more thing is once you've installed pip install PyMoPDF, let us install FAISS database. So pip install, let me type it correctly, FAISS dash CPU. This is the command that you will use to install FAISS. So pip, अगर GPU है तो GPU वाला वर्जन भी इंस्टॉल कर सकते हो. Pip install FAISS dash CPU. Okay, requirement already satisfied. It's installing. कई बार अगर दिक्कत आती है तो you can also try with pip 3 install FAISS CPU. Okay, and this is how you will be installing them. So remember 3 things which I've told you to do. One is Olama में जाओ and just download our Nomic embedded text model. You can install FAISS CPU to use the vector database. Install PyPDF2 to read PDFs. That's it. ये चीजें आपको करनी है. Now, in order to work with the virtual environment, है ना? In order to work with virtual environment, you will need in order to work with the environment variables, आपको OpenAI का key लगेगा ना? जैसे if someone is working with Gemini, they need API key from the Gemini. If someone is working with OpenAI, they need a key from the OpenAI. So, which is where we will be storing this in a dot environment variable. Okay. So let me just quickly load my dot environment variable. एक फाइल बनानी पड़ेगी .env नाम से. I'll click on plus. I'll say .env and I'll say OpenAI underscore a key is equals to. Now I cannot do it on live screen. Okay, let me try to paste the OpenAI key without sharing my screen. Yes, there you go. So .env के अंदर अब मेरी एक पर्सनल की पड़ी है. ओके, नाउ whoever has this key can access OpenAI और अगर ये की मैं आपको दे दूं तो मेरे नाम पे बिल फटेंगे. ठीक है. So but if you want to have your own OpenAI key, you can register with the credit card or you can register with Gemini. आपको फ्री की भी देता है for some trial. OpenAI नहीं देता. OpenAI से आपको अपना क्रेडिट कार्ड लगा के एक की जनरेट करनी पड़ेगी. Can I use Grok API with this? I already have this. Yeah, sure. Why not? You can use the Grok API key with this. है ना? The only thing is आपको बस Gemini LLM, Grok LLM और OpenAI LLM अलग से बस एक line of code आपका change होगा. You can switch whatever you want. ठीक है? So RAG with OpenAI, we are doing this. Okay. So in order to run it, let me just quickly import it. Okay. Yes. So there we go. फ्रॉम पाई पीडीएफ टू पीडीएफ रीडर इंपोर्ट कर लेंगे. ओके, एंड जस्ट अ सेकेंड, मेरी वर्चुअल एनवायरनमेंट एक बार सही से सेट चेक कर लेता हूँ. Okay, I just need to check my OpenAI key once if it is correctly set up. ठीक है. I'll create .env. Wait, I'll have to rename it. Right click, rename .env to click .env OpenAI की. एक बार आपको दिखा देता हूँ how do you do it. Dummy key. Okay, I'll save it like this. We will say import OS. I told you to install python.env है ना. So from .env load env, what we will do, and load env को जब हम run करेंगे, what this load env will do is from the current working directory it will try to find a file by the name of .env. This is a fixed name that it uses. So .env के अंदर जो भी कुछ values होंगी it will simply load it into the current running environment variable के अंदर. ठीक है ना. So for an example, if we have any API key, what we can do is we can simply load it like this. Okay, so maybe I'll say open AI key is equals to OpenAI key. Copy OpenAI key के अंदर अंडरस्कोर नहीं है. We will remove it and print OpenAI key. So you see यहाँ पर dummy key paste हो गया because that's what I mentioned over here. अगर यहाँ पर ऐसी कुछ की मैंने paste की होती and I would have run it, you would see okay I need to reload it, है ना. So I'll just have to restart my terminal once to load env once again, क्योंकि एक बार जब आप load env को चला देते हो वो environment variables में load हो जाता है. So I've restarted my terminal and I'll try to run it. You see now it is loading a different set of the key, right? So I'll just delete it. Right click, delete. In fact, this is a good way to load your environment variables. As a good developer, you should never write the API keys in the code itself. You should load it through at least at this level. अगर आप system level पे store नहीं कर रहे तो. Yes. So now once we have done it, let us move ahead. Okay. We'll simply say right click. मैं print statement हटा देता हूँ वरना key visible हो जाएगी. Right click, control everything. I'll paste it everything from here. OpenAI key एक बार check कर लूँ. Variable name वही है. OpenAI key, yes. Okay. All right. So we will now simply import embeddings from LangChain. From LangChain.embeddings import OpenAI embeddings. मैं यहाँ पर OpenAI embeddings यूज कर रहा हूँ. I'll also help you. अगर आप ओलामस रन करो तो आप nomic embed text भी यूज कर सकते हैं embeddings के लिए. टेक्स्ट स्प्लिटर के लिए मैं कैरेक्टर टेक्स्ट स्प्लिटर यूज कर रहा हूँ. आई एक्सप्लेन यू यस्टरडे, है ना. डॉक्यूमेंट आता है, हम डॉक्यूमेंट को स्प्लिट करते हैं, फिर एम्बेडिंग्स जनरेट करते हैं और वेक्टर डीबी में स्टोर करते हैं. सो वी आर यूजिंग वेक्टर डीबी एज फेज. ओके, एंड वी आर यूजिंग ओपनएआई की ओनली बिकॉज आई एम यूजिंग अ पेड सर्विस एट दिस टाइम. जस्ट टू एक्सप्लेन यू, अगर आप जेमिनी यूज कर रहे हो तो आप यहाँ पे जेमिनी की यूज कर सकते हैं. फ्रॉम यहाँ पर जब आप एलएलएम लगाओगे मे बी यू कैन यूज अ जेमिनी और ग्रॉक वाली एलएलएम. ठीक है, यहाँ पर आप लगा सकते हैं. Now once this is done, what I'll have to do is I'll have to also create embeddings equals to OpenAI embeddings with OpenAI API key. I'll just run it once. ठीक है, no module by the name of OpenAI, तो ठीक है, इसको quickly install कर लेते हैं. pip control C, pip install OpenAI. रिस्टार्ट कर देते हैं टर्मिनल को एक बार. लेट इट इंस्टॉल फर्स्ट. if you are getting error with version 1.5 काफी latest release model है. Swaranjit, what you can do is you can install the regular version. 1.5 install मत करो. Try to Llama pull nomadic type text without the version 1.5 and tell me if you still get error. Let me restart this. Let me run it once. Done. Now my OpenAI embeddings is imported. Okay, now what I will do is I'll define a function which can help me split characters or split my paragraphs. So I'll say split paragraph. Input क्या होगा? Input will be raw text. And character text splitter क्या है? Character text splitter is again one of the model which we can use from LangChain. So I'll just simply help you. LangChain का documentation भी पढ़ सकते हो. Character text splitter. Okay, if you search it, you will find documentation LangChain की. So you can go through the LangChain का documentation. This is the best way to start with. Modules हैं, सब cover करता है. Prompt template, LLM, document loader, embeddings क्या हैं, सारा कुछ tutorial free में available है. I'm just, in fact, I learned from here, so you can also learn exactly from here, है ना? जो मैंने 2 घंटों से ज्यादा पढ़ के यहाँ पे learn किया, you can learn that. तो टेक्स्ट स्प्लिटर क्या है? यहाँ पर देखो सब सैंपल कोड्स मिल जाते हैं. जेनेरिक टेक्स्ट स्प्लिटर क्या करता है? इट विल एक्सप्लेन यू ऑल ऑफ द डिफरेंट वेरिएशंस, डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ टेक्स्ट स्प्लिटर्स. पाइथन के कोड से भी स्प्लिट कर सकते हो एंड यू कैन यूज अ रेडीमेड स्प्लिटर, हगिंग फेस का लेंथ फंक्शन एंड सो मेनी मोर डिफरेंट थिंग्स दैट यू कैन लर्न फ्रॉम हियर, है ना? सो कैरेक्टर टेक्स्ट स्प्लिटिंग कैसे करनी है? तो यू कैन यूज कैरेक्टर टेक्स्ट स्प्लिटर एंड हाउ टू चंक. आप यहाँ पर चंक साइज मेंशन कर सकते हो, चंक ओवरलैप. आई विल एक्सप्लेन दिस माय सेल्फ, है ना? अभी के लिए मैं एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूँ. सो देयर आर सर्टेन वेरिएबल्स. सेपरेटर क्या है? दैट इफ यू नो योर डॉक्यूमेंट्स वेरी वेल, के हाउ डू यू वांट टू सेपरेट द टेक्स्ट. सो मे बी ऑन स्लैश एन यू देयर इज अ कीवर्ड, मतलब एंटर, हर एंटर पे आप सेपरेट करना चाह रहे हो. चंक साइज कितना रखना चाह रहे हो? नॉट मोर देन 1000 वर्ड्स. मतलब एक चंक क्या बनेगी? मान लो मेरे पास आई हैव अ पीडीएफ ऑफ से 10,000 वर्ड्स, है ना? सो आई वांट टू डायरेक्टली कट एट 1000 वर्ड के अंदर एक मैं स्लाइसेस बनाना चाह रहा हूँ, 1000 की स्लाइसेस. इसमें होगा क्या? व्हाट कैन हैपन इज दैट सपोज मेरा जो 1000th वर्ड है वो एक सेंटेंस को आधे में तोड़ रहा है. लाइक दिस इज हाउ यू डू इट. तो दिस इज पे वो कट कर रहा है. तो हाउ यू डू इट क्या है? इट हैज कम इन द नेक्स्ट पार्ट नाउ. So this is an incomplete sentence जो यहाँ पर आ गया है. So just to have a certain overlap, हम कट कैसे करते हैं? जो हम कट कर रहे हैं तो +200 एंड -200, मतलब हम ओवरलैप के ऊपर कट करते हैं कि जो पहली चंक बनेगी उसमें भी आगे वाले 200 कैरेक्टर्स ज्वाइन होके कटे हो और जो नेक्स्ट चंक बनेगी उसमें भी प्रीवियस 200 कैरेक्टर्स का बैंडविड्थ हो. So that's how we overlap certain chunks. So 1000th वर्ड जो होगा वो नेक्स्ट चंक के 800 वर्ड से लेके 1800 वर्ड तक चंक बनेगा. तो 0 to 1000 एक बना, दूसरा 800 to 1800 बनेगा एंड सो ऑन सो. मतलब ये स्प्लिटिंग कुछ इस तरीके से होती है ओवरलैप के साथ. लेंथ फंक्शन इज सिंपली बट द नंबर ऑफ लेंथ यू वांट टू डू इज सेपरेट regex. आप यहाँ पर अपने कस्टम regex भी ऐड कर सकते हो, which is like certain things in the text that you will find. ये अगर symbol या ये pattern अगर आता है, then split it. So you can even use that. Okay. So this is how we create a simple text splitter. Text splitter by using character text splitter, and return क्या है? Split text by using this splitter that we created. Now we need to create a function which will load our PDFs. So we will simply create a function. I'll say function to load PDF and split it. Okay. So we'll also create a function to load PDFs. For PDF and PDFs, हम ये PDF रीडर यूज कर रहे हैं. From wherever we are using it, we imported a library PyPDF2, है ना? So we are using the PDF reader and we are going to each page पे हम .extract text कर रहे हैं. This library does it for us. एंड चंक्स कैसे बन रहे हैं? सो वी आर यूजिंग दिस मेथड स्प्लिट पैराग्राफ्स, है ना, एंड स्प्लिट पैराग्राफ्स के साथ वी आर getting chunks and then we are storing it. So I'll just simply write this function again. And text chunks kya hai? A list of chunks, and we are returning text chunks. Okay. I'll also try to simply print. Here is example of what we have in text chunks. Okay. So I'll do print first 5 chunks just for inspection. Okay. And maybe I'll split it on 200, or chunk size would be 100 for now. Okay. Chunk overlap 200 तो हो ही नहीं सकता, so chunk overlap should be maybe 20. Okay. So let me just run it once. Good. Now what we will be doing is we will create list of PDFs. हमारे पास एक PDF है, right click copy relative path. अभी के लिए we have one PDF, you could have much more. So I'm just explaining you how you can do it. Okay. And what we will do is we will say text of chunks. We will call the load PDF functions, and it will have the text of chunks for us. When I'm calling it, create a chunk of 109, which is longer than, okay, so I need to at least have chunk length as 200 at least. I'll run it, and I'll run it. Here is the example of what we have in text chunks. You can see chunk कैसे बना है. International journal से लेके यहाँ, मतलब ये एक text बना होगा, फिर एक और chunk बनी होगी, ठीक है, and something like this. So this is a list of chunks that we have cut. Any questions till which here? Which extension are you using on the file format? .pdf. I'm using .pdf. I'm explaining you PDFs. Okay. All right. So once we have it, how do we store this data? अब ये data store कैसे करना है? हमारे पास text chunks तो आ गए हैं. Let us see what text chunks are. If you see, these are text chunks. List of chunks with us, है ना? Different sentences को हमने split कर लिया paragraphs में से. And how did we do it? हमने chunk size सब decide कर लिया था हमारा. So what we will do is, हमारे पास embedding models है, हमने उसको embedding में store किया है. Right over here, embedding equals to OpenAI embedding model. ठीक है? Now we will do simply, हम यहाँ पर जाएंगे and we will say store, एक variable बनाएंगे जिसमें we will say faz dot from text, ये text chunks को ये embedding model use करके store it. Why have we created these chunks? We have created these chunks to ठीक है, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हमने चंक्स के बनाए. एग्जांपल ले लो, जैसे मान लो कि एक आप स्कूल में पढ़ रहे हो, यू आर स्टडिंग इन अ स्कूल एंड यू हैव अ चैप्टर बाय द नेम ऑफ हिस्ट्री में आपका मॉड्यूल 1 है वर्ल्ड वॉर 1. नाउ दिस पीडीएफ कंटेन्स complete syllabus of your World War I, है ना? There could be many isolated cases which are in certain paragraphs only. Okay, like when did World War start? तो इसके लिए 1 or 2 sentences are more than enough from this PDF to answer that question, है ना? So we need to split this PDF into different sections so that when we try to retrieve the most matching embedding, तो वो उतनी एक्यूरेट हो. अगर आपने पूरे पीडीएफ की एक साथ एम्बेडिंग बना दी तो देयर इज जस्ट वन सिंगल एम्बेडिंग यू विल हैव. ओके, सो वी नीड टू गो टू ग्रैन्युलर लेवल कि हमारा क्वेश्चन क्या है, व्हेन डिड वर्ल्ड वॉर स्टार्ट. तो इसके लिए हो सकता है 1 या 2 सेंटेंस ही मोर देन इनफ है फ्रॉम द पीडीएफ टू गिव द आंसर. सो अगर आप सिर्फ उस लेवल पे चंक्स बना के बैठे हो जहां से ये मैचिंग और इजी हो जाए टू हेल्प द एलएलएम आंसर इट, देन इट वर्क्स. For summarization and shorten it for embedding matchings. Yes, for shortening it for embedding matching. जितना बड़ा चंक होगा उतना embedding misclassify भी हो सकता है. ठीक है, that's the reason vegeto. Not for summarization exactly, but for shortening it to improve accuracy के वो चंक exactly इनसे मैच हो जाए इस क्वेश्चन से, क्योंकि हमारा क्वेश्चन तो आधे एक सेंटेंस के अंदर पूरा हो जाएगा. When did World War start? तो World War start यही इंपॉर्टेंट वर्ड है जो हमें मैच करने हैं. तो if we have a chunk जिसमें सिर्फ वर्ल्ड वॉर स्टार्ट वाज इन दिस डेट आ रहा है, तो वो चंक ही हमें मैच करना है खाली. सो दैट्स द रीजन. आई थिंक यू गॉट इट करेक्टली. ठीक है, सो वी आर स्टोरिंग दिस चंक्स इन अ स्टोर नाउ. नो मॉडल बाय द नेम ऑफ टिक टोकन, पिप इंस्टॉल टिक टोकन. maybe you, acha, I missed the L. All right, so now let's try to acha, it should work now. ठीक है. So now that we have created a store, ठीक है, now what you have to do is we will have to store this database. See, we have a database in memory loaded है, but as soon as I close this VS Code, as soon as I close this terminal, phase की limitation क्या है, ये सिर्फ in memory रहता है. It is only a in memory database. So in order to store it, so that next time I can retrieve it, I'll say store dot save in local, and what do I call it? Maybe I'll call it my vector store. Okay, I'll run it. So once I run it, you will realize I have a new folder now in my in the directory where I'm running this code, which has .phase file and a pickle file. Pickle file is used to reload it. Okay, and if you see, what I gave you in the drive was nothing but this similar thing: index.phase, index.pickle, right? So this is needed to create a vector file. Okay, now how do we chat with this, right? So what we'll have to do is we'll have to maybe from LangChain community, we have LangChain community install. Let me check. Pip install LangChain community. You already have it. So what we'll have to do is LangChain community से chat models में से maybe here you will have to import the Gemini, Grok or ChatGPT. So if we go to the documentation, LangChain community.chat models, LangChain community.chat models. Here you will see what are the different models that you can use. Okay. All right. Yes. Integration many chat models like OpenAI, Olama, Azure, Google Vertex, Amazon Bedrock, Hugging Face, Grok, Coher. Okay. And please see chat model integrations for up-to-date list. Okay. And OpenAI, Azure, Yera drop down. Okay. So if you're using Grok, only thing that will change for you is from chat models, import init chat model. And this is how you will create for Grok. So for my students who are following Grok, this is the piece of code you will have to run. For students who are following Gemini, this is the piece of code you will have to run. Okay, that's the only thing that will change for you. Rest everything will remain same. For anyone using anything else, you can see which models are supported by LangChain chat models over here: Perplexity, XAI, IBM Watson, Together, Mistral, so and so. So rest of the code remains same. हम chat OpenAI यूज कर रहे हैं, हमारा वेक्टर डेटाबेस फेज है, हम OpenAI की embeddings यूज कर रहे हैं. For people following the Olama, you can nomic embedding text. Even without 1.5 I'm getting an error max retries exceeded. Max retries exceeded का मतलब है currently दो प्रॉब्लम हो सकती हैं. आपका इंटरनेट सही से काम नहीं कर रहा, which is less possible क्योंकि आप YouTube पे अटैच्ड हो. Second could be कि Olama का सर्वर इस वक्त डाउन हो सकता है for some temporary reason. So that's how max retries exceed. Third thing could be आप जब पेस्ट कर रहे हो सकता है आप you are pasting in an extra white space somewhere. या maybe you can try to retype it. Carefully examine आपने जो prompt लिखा है उसमें कहीं पर space वेस नहीं है. स्पेस होगा तो वो मॉडल नेम उसको मिल नहीं रहा. Hence max retries exceed हो सकता है. Those are few troubleshoots you can try. Once you have done it, so in order to import our settings, what we will do is we will simply, since you're already having it, we will simply say OpenAI key, which you already have it. Okay. So we have it. Fez load local. तो load local के लिए मेरे vector store का नाम है copy relative path. It is my vector store. OpenAI के embeddings launch करने के लिए हमें यहाँ पर pass करना पड़ेगा OpenAI key, है ना? So we will just simply pass that. OpenAI AP key is equals to this. And allowed initialization is true. It is just something that is needed to load the model from pickle file. And we'll create an instance of LLM. People who were learning from Olama, remember कैसे बनाते हैं? यहाँ पर आपको चैट ओलामा यूज करना है, मॉडल नेम एंड आपका लोकल पास डालना है. दिस इज फॉर पीपल हु आर यूजिंग जेमिनाई. एंड चेन बनानी है, एक रिट्रीवल क्यूए चेन बनानी है. क्वेश्चन आंसरिंग चैटबॉट बना रहे हैं हम, तो रिट्रीवल क्यूए चेन होती है. दैट्स हाउ यू क्रिएट अ LangChain के अंदर इंस्टेंस बनाते हैं हम. दिस इज द मेथड वी कॉल फॉर चेन टाइप. LLM पास कर दो अपनी, अपना रिट्रीवर पास कर दो, विच विल रिट्रीव द चंक्स एंड रिजल्ट्स को हम यहाँ पर वी विल सिंपली रन इट. हमने आई थिंक डाइटरी सप्लीमेंट से बनाया है. लेट मी जस्ट चेक दिस डॉक्यूमेंट वंस. ठीक है. Multivitamins and mineral. Let me ask a question something related to this, है ना? So I'll ask a question. Can consuming multivitamin and minerals reduce my blood pressure? Okay, and we'll simply run it. So ठीक है, यहाँ पर error क्या आया है? One validation error from OpenAI. Did not find OpenAI API key. अच्छा, यहाँ पर भी OpenAI API की पास होगी आपकी. And I'll just pass it over here. Run it. Now this is the question and this is the answer. Can consuming multivitamin do it? So the answer is based on the provided information. So see, हमारा RAG काम कैसे आ रहा है? The model is now relying on what knowledge base we have provided it. Consuming multivitamin and minerals did not show a significant effect on reducing the risk of developing hypertension. However, there was significant reduction in systolic blood pressure in subjects with hypertension. जो भी कुछ है, like it matches the PDF जो हमने पढ़ा है ना. So it is important to consult healthcare professional before making any decision. But ये हमारा आंसर आया है. Now let me ask this model. What is Napoleon pizza? Question mark. Now let us see what the model will respond us. I don't have the information for Napoleon pizza. It seems there is a typing error or misunderstanding in the question. Okay, so this is where our RAG model comes into picture. Okay, जो हमारा LLM है, it is trying to match some vectors from the vector database, and using those similarity matches, it will try to answer now. So since our healthcare का जो dietary supplements का PDF है, it doesn't have what Napoleon pizza is. There were rarely few chances any vector embedding would match. But this is the key. In order to create a good and a robust RAG model, what is important is that we create embeddings correctly. And trust me, I'll give you some professional experience, what I have faced, what I've built for different customers, different companies. The most difficult part is to extract text from the PDF and to create proper chunks. And why is that? Because the better your chunk quality is, the better is the retrieval engine. So the heart of RAG, according to my experience, is you should read your data carefully. जितने भी PDFs हैं जो प्रोजेक्ट सॉल्व कर रहे हो, अंडरस्टैंड कि इनके ऊपर किस टाइप के चंक्स ज्यादा अच्छे से काम कर सकते हैं. योर गोल इज टू क्रिएट चंक्स विच आर at minimum level but still contain a lot of information. What are the practical difficulties that we faced were sometimes we were splitting paragraphs which are related to each other also in different chunks. If we use a strict rule-based chunk as text splitter, maybe you can try semantic chunker. Semantic chunker is again one module provided by Llama Index or the LangChain, which helps you split chunks more semantically. You can use certain more rules. आप खुद के chunk splitters भी बना सकते हो, which are not available on internet. But आपके पर्सनल टेक्स्ट आप पर्सनल कोडिंग के थ्रू और इम्प्रूव्ड चंकिंग स्ट्रेटजीज बना सकते हो. आई विल गिव यू वन एग्जांपल. समझ लो आपके टेक्स्ट के अंदर बुलेट पॉइंट्स हैं, आपके पीडीएफ के अंदर हेडर्स हैं, सब हेडिंग्स हैं. देन यू कैन फर्स्ट ट्राई टू क्रिएट अ मॉडल व्हिच विल आइडेंटिफाई हेडर्स, सब हेडर्स, लोकलाइज द हेडर्स एंड सब हेडर्स. तो जब आप उसको चंक करोगे तो हर चंक को हेडर सब हेडर साथ में पास करो तो और बेटर चंक बनेंगे. and overlapping करो chunks के अंदर. So these are a few important strategies which are important while building a RAG module. Okay, so again, this is one fun way to do it with the third services like Gemini and OpenAI. Okay, so what if we are trying to build? Okay, I have some message. This is not from YouTube. Okay, anything else? No, not here. Let me try to save this chat with OpenAI. I'll just delete my env file for safety measures. Okay, now okay, meanwhile we can simply create a similar vector store which we created for us. मैंने health supplements आपको बनाए यहाँ पर. right click copy paste, delete. अच्छा, already have health supplements. right click, rename. I have provided you a PDF of it, but I'll also provide it here in this Git repo itself. Okay. Now, how do we do it? RAG with olama.ipynb. Okay. So first of all, देखो, what we'll have to do is we will create certain code. LangChain ओलामा आएगा इस वक्त क्योंकि हम ओलामा एम्बेडिंग्स यूज कर रहे हैं. फेज तो आएगा ही. वेक्टर स्टोर्स में से हम फेज इंपोर्ट कर रहे हैं एंड इन मेमोरी डॉक स्टोर्स है ना. नाउ आई विल गिव यू एम्बेडिंग्स कैसे बनानी है. सो एम्बेडिंग्स बनाने के लिए हम ये नॉमिक एम्बेड टेक्स्ट मॉडल यूज करेंगे. ओलामा एम्बेडिंग्स लास्ट टाइम हम क्या कर रहे थे, यहाँ पर क्या कर रहे थे हम, ओपनएआई एम्बेडिंग्स है ना. लेट मी जस्ट शो यू दैट. OpenAI एम्बेडिंग्स है ना. यहाँ पर हम क्या कर रहे हैं, ओलामा एम्बेडिंग्स, और हम एक ओपन सोर्स मॉडल यूज कर रहे हैं. बेस यूआरएल के अंदर मैंने पोर्ट लगा के इसको फायर कर दिया है. ठीक है, आई जस्ट सिंपली लोड इट. पाइथन वर्चुअल एनवायरनमेंट, आई जस्ट सिंपली रन इट. सो आई जस्ट शो यू के ओलामा कैसे रन करता है. सो एग्जांपल, इफ आई एम यूजिंग दिस, I'll just show you once. I'll print vector. You will see इस OpenAI के मॉडल ने भी एम्बेडिंग्स बनाई हैं. लिटिल लेस कॉम्प्लेक्स देन दी OpenAI एम्बेडिंग्स, क्योंकि OpenAI एम्बेडिंग्स ज्यादा अच्छा परफॉर्म करती हैं, बट स्टिल दिस इज अ वेरी रोबस्ट मॉडल एम्बेडिंग्स बनाने के लिए. एंड अगेन numpy के एरेस बने हैं फॉर अ सिंपल हेलो वर्ल्ड है ना. सो दिस इज हाउ दी एम्बेडिंग्स लुक लाइक. ओके, सो वी कैन ऑल्सो चेक के कितने डायमेंशंस हैं, कितने ज्यादा इसके अंदर रोज लगे हैं. रोज एंड कॉलम्स ही हम देख सकते हैं with that. Okay, so right click copy. I'll just show you with that. So हमने इसके इंडेक्स में से मेजर किया है नंबर ऑफ टोटल एंड डायमेंशंस जो बने हैं इस एम्बेडिंग के. ठीक है, आई लीव इट हियर. मे बी यू कैन प्रैक्टिस अराउंड विद इट. वी विल नाउ क्विकली क्रिएट अ वेक्टर स्टोर फॉर अस. तो वेक्टर स्टोर बिल्कुल रिपीट होगा. हम इन मेमोरी स्टोर लगाएंगे. एम्बेडिंग्स के अंदर हमारा इस वक्त ओलामा के एम्बेडिंग्स पास कर रहे हैं, एंड वी आर पासिंग द इंडेक्स एंड इंडेक्स डॉट स्ट्रिंग. दिस आर सम रेगुलर थिंग्स. ठीक है, एनी क्वेश्चन स्टिल हियर? शेयर अटेंडेंस पेज लिंक अगेन फॉर डाउनलोडिंग द सर्टिफिकेट. ठीक है, सो हम एक बार वेक्टर स्टोर बना लेते हैं. Now once you've created the vector store, now we will add documents in here. ठीक है ना. So just to do it, basically I'll just quickly show you कि यहाँ पर what we can do with this model. मैं थोड़ा quickly आपको एक बार explain कर देता हूँ because we are short on time है ना, little bit. So what we will do is हमने यहाँ पर सबसे पहले हमारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स को हम लोड कर देंगे. ओके, सो लेट मी डू दैट. ठीक है, एक बार हमें चंक्स बनाने पड़ेंगे which are just over here. let me, ठीक है, let me just add certain chunks. तो चंक्स बनाने के लिए ओके, just let me find that piece of code for you. ठीक है, so let us quickly wrap that. Maybe we can just skip creating embeddings with the Olama, but this is how you are just doing it. Vector store आपने बनाया and the remaining part remains same. आपको यहाँ पे बस एक आपका स्प्लिटर लगाना है, टेक्स्ट स्प्लिटर, एंड सेव करना है जैसे हमने एग्जैक्टली यहाँ पर सेव किया. लेट मी जस्ट क्विकली शो यू हाउ टू क्रिएट द रैग विद ओलामा वंस. ठीक है, सो इन ऑर्डर टू डू दैट आई विल जस्ट हेल्प यू विद इट. सो ये तो हो गया आपका पार्ट जहां पर आप एम्बेडिंग्स बना सकते हो आपके ओलामा के साथ. Now what if I have already created the embedding? So I will go to db name, यहाँ पर मैं स्टोर कर लेता हूँ, and this is the db name. Right click, copy relative path, and I'll just paste it over here. तो मेरा db जो है वापस मैं इसको लोड कर लूंगा, and in order to use it, जो मैंने लास्ट टाइम को सिखाया था कि how do you save the model, है ना, so save local. Similarly, you can load the fetch database using load local. तो exactly यहाँ पर भी हम वही कर लेते हैं. We will say documents is equals to or maybe like we can say vector store. इसका नाम vector store ज़्यादा better रहेगा. हमारा vector store क्या है? Vector store is equals to phase dot load लोड लोकल करेंगे हम. तो लोड लोकल के अंदर सबसे पहले हमें क्या पास करना होगा? हमारा db name. ओके, वी विल बी पासिंग db names. What type of embeddings are we using? So the embeddings that we are using is the Olama embedding. So I'll pass db name from embeddings pass करने के बाद is there anything else we need over here? So allow dangerous deserialization parameter को हमें true करना पड़ेगा. Okay, so this is the way you can load the vector db again. Remember OpenAI के साथ बिल्कुल हमने सेम काम किया था. हमने vector db का नाम दिया था, OpenAI की एम्बेडिंग्स दी थी और ये पैरामीटर पास किया था. यहाँ पर जो चेंज हो रहा है वो सिर्फ OpenAI की जगह पर ओलामा की एम्बेडिंग्स आ जा रही हैं. Okay, and you have enough idea now how to create embeddings on your own and how to store them, and we've created a vector store out of it. ठीक है, so इसको वापस लोड करते हैं एक बार. Let me run this. So it works. Now let us see how retrieval works. ठीक है, तो सबसे पहले मेरी एक क्वेरी होगी, व्हाट आर द बेनिफिट्स ऑफ टेकिंग विटामिन D3 सप्लीमेंट्स. ठीक है, नाउ आई विल से डॉक्स इज इक्वल्स टू वेक्टर स्टोर में हम सिमिलरिटी सर्च करेंगे. सिमिलरिटी सर्च के लिए मैं अपना क्वेरी पास करूंगा. क्वेरी इज इक्वल्स टू, यहां पर करूंगा मैं क्वेरी, एंड इसको क्वेश्चन लिख देते हैं तो थोड़ा और इजी हो जाएगा समझने के लिए कि क्वेश्चन, क्वेरी इसके पैरामीटर का नाम है एंड क्वेश्चन हमारा वेरिएबल है. सो क्वेश्चन इज इक्वल्स टू व्हाट आर द बेनिफिट ऑफ टेकिंग दिस, एंड के इज इक्वल्स टू क्या मतलब है? के इज समथिंग लाइक टॉप कितने वेक्टर्स रिट्रीव करने हैं. लाइक देयर कुड बी मेनी चंक्स जो हमने बनाए हैं और काफी चंक्स हमारे क्वेश्चन से मैच हो रहे होंगे, तो ओनली टेक टॉप 3 जो मैच हो रहे हैं. ओके सर, which extension are you using for typing so fast? GitHub Copilot. I'm using vibe coding. You can also do that. Okay, and even have been asking the question quite so much. Okay, sorry guys, actually I was trying to pace up. मैं rag का ओलामा के साथ भी वर्जन दिखाना चाह रहा था, which is why I was not looking into the chat section for some time, but I hope I have answered those answers. GitHub Copilot, yes, that's but you can use them for free for a month. Yeah, true. ठीक है, all right, good. Now वेक्टर स्टोर के अंदर हमने यहाँ पर हमारा रिट्रीवर लगा दिया है. नाउ इफ आई रन इट, लेट मी रन इट. ओके, सो इट विल रिट्रीव सर्टेन डॉक्यूमेंट्स फॉर मी. अगर मैं यहाँ पर आपको डॉक्स दिखाऊं, विच इज फिजिबल फॉर OpenAI, एक क्वेश्चन है वेक्टर एम्बेडिंग्स बनाने के लिए. आई थिंक if you are doing it for research level, if you are doing it for self project level, आप ओलामा यूज करो. द रीजन इज इट इज फ्री, है ना, देयर इज नो कॉस्ट इन्वॉल्व्ड. इफ यू आर डूइंग इट सम फॉर प्रोजेक्ट, यूज OpenAI बिकॉज OpenAI के एम्बेडिंग मॉडल ज्यादा बेटर परफॉर्म करते हैं. सो यस, सो इट विल मैच द टॉप 3. के यहाँ पर रैंक नहीं है, के यहाँ पर द नंबर ऑफ एम्बेडिंग्स जो निकालने हैं. फॉर एन एग्जाम्पल, गूगल पे जब मैं कुछ सर्च कर रहा हूँ, आई एम सर्चिंग बेस्ट वेबसाइट, बेस्ट ऑटो कंप्लीशन कोड सॉफ्टवेयर, तो काफी सारे रिजल्ट आते हैं ना. देयर आर लाइक हंड्रेड्स ऑफ वेब पेजेस व्हिच मैच. तो वो रैंकर लगा होता है लाइक टॉप 1 2 3 4 5. वो ये के इज लाइक टॉप 3 टॉप 5 वाला रैंकर. ओके, दैट्स आई थिंक यू गॉट इट वेजिटो, यू आर करेक्ट ऑन दैट पार्ट आल्सो. के इज लाइक अ रैंकर, टॉप 3 रैंक वाले, टॉप 3 मोस्ट मैचिंग ही वेक्टर स्टोर्स हमें वेक्टर एम्बेडिंग्स लाके दो हमें. So that's what this parameter is doing. Now what we can do is we can ask a question, and अभी हमारा retriever तो बन गया है ना. So we have a retriever which is working for us. अभी हमने यहाँ पर actually dot similarity search की है. Now we need to have a retriever also. तो retriever कैसे बनेगा? Dot as retriever करके, rather than dot similarity search की जगह पर हमें dot as retriever लगाना है. So, हमारे वेक्टर स्टोर में हमने लगाया है एज रिट्रीवर, सर्च टाइप सिमिलैरिटी K3, एक रिट्रीवल करके दो. So जब हम इसके ऊपर रिट्रीवर लगाएंगे for this question, it will this time retrieve the top three matching things, and now retriever को जब हम invoke करेंगे with the question, it should be able to generate us the answer to it, है ना, like कि कौन से vector dbs match हुए हैं. So now we supposed we have to run it, है ना, with Ollama. अगर हम इसको run करना है, so what we can do is we can design our prompt template, we can add a question over here, and हम LLM अब यहाँ पर लगा सकते हैं. यहाँ पर मैंने आपको सिर्फ Ollama का retriever दिखाया है, ठीक है. So let me rename this file retriever with Ollama. Okay. Now let us just quickly walk through कि हम Ollama के साथ complete chatbot कैसे build करें. RAG with Ollama.ipynb. Okay. So I'll just quickly load some basic libraries. Meanwhile, students, you can definitely keep on asking questions if you have any questions. Okay. So we'll simply load our libraries. अब यहाँ पर हम एक prompt बना लेंगे, एक prompt template बना लेंगे. Right click, copy, create a prompt template. We'll simply say prompt is equals to your assistant for question answering task. Use the following retrieve text to answer the question. If you don't know answer, simply say you don't know, answer in bullet points only. Make sure your answer is relevant to the question asked and from the context only. तो ये हमारी prompt हो गई RAG के लिए. कल theory में भी I was explaining this, that you need to add into prompt के your model should know that make sure you answer with the context only. Then the question will come. Context क्या है? What is context here? This is the retrieved chunks. I've shown you in the previous code how you can retrieve using Ollama also. And answer is something that will come from here. Okay. Now what we will do is we will use Ollama model. हम एक basic model बना लेते हैं. Define our LLM. So we will say chat Ollama का model use करेंगे. Llama 3.2 billion या कोई और small model use कर लेते हैं, like Quen 3.11 billion use कर लेते हैं. Copy and paste. हम एक LLM लगा लेते हैं. Chat Ollama is not defined. Let us quickly import Chat Ollama. हालांकि I had done it. अच्छा, I didn't run this cell. I'll run this cell first. I'll run this cell and then I'll run this cell. So LLM.invoke should now give me the response. The AI message should be available. Yes, here AI message. Okay, the user just said hi, and this is the response it has given us. Okay, so what we will do is we can now create a RAG chain. Okay, I'll just for now explain you how RAG chain will work. Maybe I'll just give you an example. Okay, because we are done with this timing a bit. I just wanted to explain you a little bit more if I could. ठीक है? So we have a RAG chain जहाँ पर हम retriever लगाएंगे, prompt लगाएंगे, LLM लगाएंगे, structured response लगाएंगे. And once we have it, then we can generate the answers of whatever we are trying to do. Okay. So, well, this is a little bit about how the RAG can work. But for now, let me quickly try to create a Git repo and try to publish everything जितना भी हमने सीखा है. Out of it, RAG with OpenAI, this is the complete end-to-end code where you can generate a RAG model. And RAG with there's one file which I created to create embeddings, LangChain basics, LangChain prompt. I think मैंने LangChain chains के अंदर ही वो वाला कोड लिख दिया है. Let me check. Okay, retriever with Ollama. I think here I have done that, Ollama embeddings. Okay, I'll rename this file embeddings generation with Ollama. Okay, so you have all the source code you need. Now give me just 2 minutes, students. I'll quickly create a Git repository, GitHub. I'll just quickly sign in. It will ask for an authenticator app. Let me give the authentication code. So I try to keep everything raw in the session, even starting from creating a virtual environment and to follow every step possible. Okay. So this is for my accounts. Yes, I have the access. I'll create a new repository, rag basics. It is public. I'll create the repository. I'll do make directory, git repo, cd git repo, git clone the repository. Okay, I have created the repository. Now I will do right click, reveal in file explorer. Right click, copy everything apart from the environment, rag basics, paste. Okay, along with this, what I will do is I'll go here, pip freeze requirements.txt to pip freeze to requirement.txt. I have a requirement.txt with me. I'll put it into git repo. Inside the git repo, I'll put it in the rag basics. And now if I do git status, not over here, cd git basics, git state, okay, git status, git add everything, git commit -m, adding the initial files, git push, remote permission denied. Okay, I will need the remote access then in that case. Okay, so what I will do is for now I'll just try to push it, git add remote origin, git push origin main. Okay, let me just quickly try to fix this. Okay. I'll have to generate a new token for it, which I'll do it origin fetch and push. Okay. Actually, I had also installed the SSH over here. It should have worked. Okay. What I will do is I'll do one more thing. Okay. Let me just quickly do this. Right click, copy git repo, right click, new folder, data, paste everything here, data, right click, compress to zip file, data is here. Okay, I'll just go to my git repo. I'll just for now, publish this link with all of you. I'll just quickly add everything over here. I'll just share. Okay, now in the chat section, you will find the link. Okay, now using this link within the next 10-15 minutes, I will publish all of my source code in this repo, so you all can clone it. Okay. IP1 interactive Python notebook. Yeah, that's correct. All right. Got it. All right. So I'll just ask the admin to quickly share the Git repo link with all of you. And that way, after the session, within the next 10 minutes, I'll add my Git token and publish all the code on this same link. You just need this Git repo link with you. Let me check with the admin. Okay. So once you get this link, meanwhile, you can also try to copy this link from the screen. Python037 is my username on Git. rag_basics.git is the repo name. You guys can quickly copy it from here. More than enough. Okay, any other questions? Are there any notes too? I would pass it, okay? And yeah, of course, we can do it with Streamlit. That's not the agenda. The agenda was to just learn how Rack works, but definitely we can have a session on Streamlit. You can always ask the LetsUpgrade team and check with our communities. We do streams on Streamlit ki bhi session hote hain. There are many more sessions that will interest you. You all have the link in the chat section. So thank you all for staying in. I'll give you the all the source code in this repository itself, right? It's a public repository, so everyone should be able to use it. Thank you so much for joining in. All the best to all of you. Good night. Bye-bye. Tata. Sayonara.